Hi, Kitty.
Hey.
Tell me a little bit about your research and why do you think it's important?
Okay, my research was on the presence of essentially various binaries present within the rock musical Hedwig and the Angry Inch, famously taught in many iterations of English 140 literature for our time. It's been a while since I took the course, but as I learned more about queer theory and sexuality studies, I thought it would be a great idea to kind of pick it back up and add some of the insights that I've gained over the years. And my official title is called Queer Bodies and Binding Binaries, A Road to Radical Queer Self-Acceptance in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And the reason, or I should say like the most important reason why I was doing it is because I think it provides kind of a lens to view the queer potentiality for self-acceptance, right? I think a lot of queer theory is kind of based on conflict. It's based on affects of like sadness, depression, hatred, whether or not it's internalized or from the external world. And I think the ending of the film, as well as the slow dismantling of these binaries as they become less and less relevant to Hedwig's personal journey, is a really great representation for what imagining queer futures could look like.
Hi, Liana.
Hello.
Please tell me a little bit about your project and why you think it's important.
Basically, I investigate adolescence as this class aesthetic and how it's portrayed in global youth fiction, mainly from the biggest exporters of this type of fiction, which is America and Japan. So I investigate transnational youth fiction, which includes Catcher in the Rye, Gundam, and Hunger Games, and My Hero Academia. And what does it say about how adolescence has been written about in media under different economic systems? And I think it's important because I think we inherently think media is this neutral thing and it's self-expression, but I think one of the things that's under talked about is how media and its portrayal is shaped by economic systems, especially since economic systems shape how we view ourselves, our identity, and how we conceptualize what we think are neutral life stages, essentially. So yeah.
Hi, Nee.
Hi, Vivian.
Tell me about your research and why you think it's important.
Yes, so my presentation was on Hildegard von Bingen's Symphonia, and she is a 13th century abbess, mystic, playwright, artist, and composer. And so she had this, the Symphonia, which is this collection of liturgical songs, and she kept on mentioning this word that was so interesting to me called viriditas, right? And it's this concept of, or she's proposing it as this manifestation of God's word, right? Viriditas is something that all life and all creation has. And my presentation was titled How Nature Provides a Return to Virginal Fertility in Hildegard's Symphonia, because I'm suggesting that Hildegard, right, she venerates the Virgin Mary. She venerates specifically virginal fertility, right? How can we have virginity and maternity at the same time? My argument is that Hildegard is suggesting that the Symphonia is suggesting that we can cultivate viriditas, we can water it, we can protect it, because viriditas is within the environment, right? If we are virtuous and we are protective of God's creation, we can build viriditas and return to paradise. I think that my work is important because I think thinking about land ethic is super important. Thinking about how can we formulate our culture so that we value and protect the land, and I think doing that through an ecological and theological perspective is super fascinating. And I think there's a lot of feminist messaging in the Symphonia as well, and I think all of that together, there's so much to think about, right? From a theological side, from an environmental side, and I think my work is really exciting. Yay.